Hey you guys, C here. Thank you so much for clicking to join me in today's video. In this video, I am sharing with you my plan, my prep, my execution, and the finishes of my Raleigh Frocktails gown. My area is blessed with not only one, but two Frocktails, one in Raleigh and one in Charlotte, and I do believe they are a weekend apart. Now I've already purchased my ticket for Raleigh. I'm still up in the air if I'm gonna purchase my ticket for Charlotte, only because I procrastinated. I've waited till last minute. Life has been lifing, and I really don't want to take on the stress of doing two garments a weekend apart, knowing how I am. So, since I've already purchased my Raleigh Frocktails ticket, Raleigh Frocktails it is for now, and then we'll assess how things go in the next week or two. Now, at the time that I am filming, I have 13 days. The sun is going down. I have 12 days until Raleigh Frocktails, and I have nothing done. But that should be no surprise because that's how I wing it around here, right? So I originally had picked out McCall's 7718. I have a whole Pinterest board on my inspiration for my Frocktails gown, okay? And view A was perfect. But I told you, I have 12 days until this event arrives, and I've done nothing. So, wise me knew that since I've not carved enough time for myself to do this is a no-go. So at the very last minute, I recently ordered McCall's 7047 off the Simplicity website. I got it for 70% off. So it was around $3 or $4 come up. And it is a mix and match pattern. So you've got several pieces that you can mix and match. The different variations are going to be with the neckline, the bodice, and the skirt or the train. It also has a peplum, cutesy stuff. Now I picked this up because it is rated as easy, and that lets me know that there are fewer pieces and fewer steps. Fingers crossed. I did look at the instructions very briefly when it arrived in the mail, but at this point we're rolling with it. I really love what the model in pink is wearing, and I think this is a silhouette that I am going to strive for. Still not sure if I want to do the train or not. I think that is a cow neck, and it is just pulled off to the side of her shoulder, and I like that. That's what sold me. Still contemplating the train. Definitely don't want the sleeves, so it's definitely going to be sleeveless, but this is a pattern. I've already picked out my fabric. Let me get my fabric. 1 second. I purchased this stretch velvet from Hobby Lobby. It's also already been pre-washed, and I purchased a lining as well. I purchased, oh my goodness, how many yards of fabric did I get? Close to 4 yards of this fabric. 3 3/4, I think is what I picked up. And so this is a crushed velvet. It is stretched as well. You can see through it, which is why I'm happy that the pattern called for lining. I picked up just a navy blue lining fabric. This fabric smells amazing. Okay, so that is what I'm working with. The only other notion that I needed for this pattern is single fold bias tape. And I have that as well. Literally the last packet on the rack. So I'm happy that I got that. And let's get into some price breakdowns. So the pattern, I told you I paid $3 or $4 for that. I'll get the exact price and put it on the screen for you. The single fold bias tape was on sale for 99 cents. The velvet fabric was regular $8.99. I purchased 3 yards, 3 7/8 yard. It was 40% off, so that is $5.39 a yard for a total of $20.90 for that fabric. Then I purchased 1.5 yards of the lining. The lining was regular $5.99. The lining was 40% off as well, which brought that unit price to $3.59 a yard. I paid a grand total of $5.39 for the lining fabric. So we're looking at $26 for the fabric plus $1 for the bias tape. That's $27. Altogether, we're looking at about $31 invested into this garment. That is phenomenal. I'm really happy about that. Of course, I've mentioned before, I am truly motivated by cost. That is my business background. But nonetheless, this is what we've got. Now, with a limited time frame. Today is Sunday, September the 22nd. It is about 6:30 in the evening. It is now dinner time. I'm actually headed into the house to have dinner with my family, get the kids ready for daycare and school tomorrow, get myself ready for work. So I actually don't have a lot of time for tonight. What I am going to carve out for tonight is at least cutting my fabric and my pattern pieces. That sucks. It's the worst task ever. But I know that if I give myself it'll probably take me, and it takes forever. It takes me forever to cut fabric and pattern pieces. Let me just say 2 hours. I hope it takes significantly less. But I will dedicate 2 hours of this evening after the kids go down for bed to cutting out the pattern and the fabric pieces. Now, over the course of the week, I will not be working on this because there is a Sew Your View challenge. It's right up here, McCall's 8505. I want to participate in that, and I've already cut the pattern pieces for that. So I actually want to work on that during the week. But I cut the pattern pieces for my Frocktails and make sure that I put all of my energy into working on that garment this weekend. And hopefully I can finish it this weekend. So in this video, you're going to see start to finish. And I hope everything works out well because I am filming this as we go. So I'm going to put the tripod in the corner and clean up my floor and then start cutting these pattern pieces, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright peeps, I have cut all of my pattern pieces, all of my lining pieces. I'm super grateful that it's not a lot of pieces as expected since it's an easy pattern. For the last few times that I've been cutting fabric, I've been using this electric fabric cutter. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is a game changer. So I'm going to do a thorough review coming soon. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed and you come back for that. But this is a game changer, okay? This is saving my wrist. It's saving time. It's adding more precision to my cuts. I use shears. I use fabric shears. I do not like a rotary cutter. I feel like I don't have enough control with the rotary cutter, and that is why I prefer shears. This takes the cake. So that is on the charger because I've been using it so much that it went dead. And so yeah, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm going to come back to this project this weekend. But for the week, I'm gonna be focusing on McCall's 8505. My instructions are already up. This is one of the patterns for Sew Your View. I do want to participate in that. And so those pieces are over here, nice and cut and laid out. And I want to work on that since I have 1 week of September left. So keep an eye out for that. It is Sunday night, okay? It is about 10 p.m. Yeah, it's about 10 p.m. So I'm going to head into the house. The kids are down. The kids are asleep. So now I'm going to go ahead and take a shower, get ready for tomorrow, a long work week. I'll see you guys this weekend. Peace. Hi peeps. It is Sunday, September 30th. It is about 7 p.m. We have less than 6 days to go. It's been a minute since we last spoke, but now I am finally ready. After procrastinating quite a bit, I'm finally ready to get started. let's see what we got going on so far. All right, so I have my instructions posted up on the wall, and last night I went ahead and just started pinning up my pieces. I am really excited. This is going to be a super quick sew, and I'm happy for it. I also don't have the time for a very tedious sew. So the last couple projects I worked on required a little bit more mental capacity, a little more mental energy than I had anticipated. So it is nice to go into a much less challenging piece. Very few steps for this. So we're going to knock this out tonight. But I've gone ahead and pinned up those pieces. And then on my lovely dress form, I have the skirt pinned up and it is hanging on my dress form simply because it was cut on the bias, simply because I want that bias to fall into its shape, fall into its form. So we're going to go ahead and pick up where I last left off. I'm going to go ahead and start sewing up these pieces. So I'll touch base with you in a bit. The most important part of tonight, or of this sew in general, is simply fit. So that is going to take the most time. It's just making sure that I have the perfect fit. Based on body measurements, I've cut out a 14 in this pattern, and I carry a lot of my weight across my back, certainly in my midsection, but not so much my waist down. So I want to make sure that it is fitted, and so fit is going to be the most important part of this. I'm not too worried about execution or anything like that because it's my trusty dusty old faithful with the knits, and that I am super comfortable and confident in sewing. So let's get to it. So before I went any further, I wanted to go ahead and try on the bodice before I did my lining and attached the two, just in case I need to take it in. I'm actually happy with this. Let's see, I'm filming on my cell phone as opposed to my camera, but that neckline, it could be just a tad bit more taut, but I am going to be adding in the lining and then attaching the skirt. So I'm going to leave the fit as it is, and I'm happy with it. It's not that bad. So let's go ahead and sew up this lining and then attach the two. Okay, so I have attached the bodice and the lining together, and I'm quite happy with it. You know what? This is not. Let me just put this in here. Okay, so I've understitched the lining. I've got a little bit of a ripple here, and the perfectionist in me doesn't like it. But I'm thinking once I have a little bit of weight to it, maybe it won't be so bad, or maybe because this is crushed velvet that it won't look so terrible. One thing that I am really pleased with is how flush it lays across my back. That is one area that when it comes to necklines, I do not play about that area. I am very particular. It must lay across my back well. So I'm happy with that. The armholes, once I get that bias binding on there, I think the armholes are going to look great. I might need to cut those just a hair. But other than that, I'm thinking we're looking pretty good. Fit is really good. So I'm happy with that. I have enough room, and I don't plan on wearing shapewear that night. So that's good. The lining, the armholes, and around the bottom of the bodice are basted together, so those won't move as we're attaching other pieces. So now I'm going to do the cowl, because the picture of the model, the cowl is across one of her shoulders. So I want to see if I can achieve that look as well. The instructions on that part are not very good. So we'll see how that goes, and then we'll work on the skirt. Okay, so I am trying on the skirt, and I just wanted to see how the fit was. The skirt is inside out and the lining is not attached. I wanted to see how the fit is before I attach the lining and the skirt, much like I did with the bodice. I'm not too concerned about the waist because it's going to attach to that bodice, and I don't want to take it in too much so that my notches no longer match. I'm looking at the hip, and I'm debating on if I want to take it in just a little more on the hip. I do have to keep in mind that this dress goes over my head. There is no zipper with this pattern, so I don't want to take it in too much and then can't get it over my body. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. So I might take it in just a hair, or I might just wait until I have the bodice and the skirt together and then see. What do I want to do?
A few moments later.
All right, so I have taken in the skirt a little bit. I have attached the skirt and the lining, and so here we are. I'm gonna have to tack the lining down because it's already coming up. So this is where we're at. Fits a lot better, looks a lot better. So now I'm going to attach the bodice and the skirt together. I think I'm gonna hem the skirt first. It's a pretty big hem. I did go with the train option. I know you can't see it because of my AC. Let's see, let me move this so you can see a little more. Okay, there you go. So pull it up where I think it's going to meet the bodice. And you see I will be wearing heels the night of. Got a little bit of train action. So the length is pretty good. I'm happy with the length. Could be a hair longer so my feet wouldn't show. But okay, so go ahead and hem this and then attach the two. I still have my armholes to do on the top, but I might just save that for tomorrow. Wrap this up. It is a work night, so I do need to head into the house. It hasn't even been 2 hours yet, so I'm at about an hour and a half into this project, so doing pretty good on timing, but still it is 8:30-ish. So let's get back to work. All right, peeps, this is where we're at. I still have to do the armholes. I still have to hem, but this is the dress so far. Now, I messed up the cowl. I messed up the cowl neck. Since this is a mix and match pattern, the instructions are not clear on how to put it together. It just tells you how to put each piece together. Well, I don't need help with that. I made a mistake and I finished my bodice before I attached my cowl neck. So that's on me. I'm trying to figure out how to make it work without completely deconstructing my top. Like, that's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do it. I do still have this extra around the neckline, and even though it is understitched and the understitching is doing great, like my facing, my lining is not coming up, I still have that bubble and I don't like it. I'd like to find some way to get some weight onto it or some way to camouflage that, because I don't like that. But it's not make or break. Taking in the sides definitely did a world of good. I'm still considering taking in the side of the bodice. I'm happy with the skirt. Might need to take in the side a little bit, but once again, I'm putting this over my head. I've got a lot of hair. It's probably not the best. And then the back, I've got a little extra fabric at the torso. So I didn't really realize that I have a short torso. I never really knew what that meant, but now I notice. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, this is looking it's just a little underwhelming. What can I do to add a little pizzazz? Now, with my bag, with my earrings, whatever I decide to purchase or whatever I decide to find in my closet, that's one thing. But then, I don't know. It's very muted. It's very demure. But do I need more? Is this lacking something? Now, I did find a little trim, a little applique right here. And I thought about putting that around my waist, but then it was just giving me bridal. And that's not the look that I'm going for, but it does give me a little oomph, you know? So maybe pearls is not the way to go. It is Midsummer Night Dream. So maybe pearls is not the way to go. Maybe silver or a silver belt. I don't know. Maybe I need something grand right here on the, right here below my clavicle. I don't know. I'm just a little underwhelmed. And I don't know how to fix that. I also think this bodice is just too big. I need to finish my armholes. That's what I need to do. I need to finish my armholes and then assess. So I thought I was going to go in the house. I would love to go in the house. I'm just going to go ahead and finish the sucker up. I want to be done with it. Yeah, I want to be done with it. So I'm going to do the armholes, the hem now, give it some thought, get on Amazon someplace and start looking up some accessories or something I can do to jazz this up if I need it. I don't know if I need it. I'm also going to take it in the house and put it on for my husband, see what he thinks. So, all right, let's wrap this up. She is all done. I have her on my dress form. Hem is done. Bias tape is put in that armhole. I didn't trim it down though, but she is all done and she's looking good. So at this point, I'm just going to take her in the house and try her on for my husband, and I'm going to give it another day or two's thought as to if I want to make any modifications or any additions to it. Now, I still have the cow neck, and so I don't know if I just want to use that as a shrug, a scarf. I don't know. At this point, it's just extra fabric. So, I'm going to give it some thought, but that is how she's looking. And I think at this point, I'm going to leave it here. And I'll see you guys before I head out to Frocktails. Good night.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
All right, so I want to introduce you to everyone for my Raleigh Frocktails team. Listen, ladies, I know this is, this has not been the easiest 5 months of planning something. And when we tell people that we planned this in 5 months, they look at us like we're crazy. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, really, seriously. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. So this is Tanisha to my left. Then we have Tony. She's Diva and all the numbers afterwards. I'm Super Sean. And this is Selena, fully couture.